everyone, Marianne Cowan here from Pinery Paper Crafts. I had to log off and log back on because it was crooked and you can't switch it once you've gone live. Last time I didn't have to switch it, but this time I did. So thank you for joining me. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Ottawa, Canada, where it's actually beautiful and sunny today. I come live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and starting next week it will be at 1 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock because I'm doing a contract in the afternoons. So 1 o'clock, and for now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but it may go down to 2 days a week. We'll see. So if I'm not going to be on, I'll post on my Facebook page. So on Fridays, I do Facebook Friday. And what I like to do is showcase Stampin' Up! Products, card ideas, and inspiration so that you can get into your craft room and create some beautiful things. So this week, I was introducing the new in colors. With every new annual catalog, Stampin' Up! Introduces 5 new in colors, and they will be around for 2 years. So we have Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, I think, and Parakeet Party. So those are the 5 new in colors. And there's lots of products that are available with the in colors, as with every catalog. And I think the sun's going to go weird again. Oh well, we'll just have to go with it. Oh no, that's just the glare. So ink refills, stamp pads, they have Stampin' Blends in all of the new in colors. These beautiful Tea Boutique cards and envelopes, and I'll show you one in a second. Tea Boutique paper. Then the 6x6 paper that's available in all the colors. And they change the patterns up every year. Then obviously the cardstock, some matte dots, baker's twine, and this beautiful ribbon that we're going to be using today. So the countdown is on as the new catalog debuts on May the 3rd. So that's next Tuesday. Customers can begin ordering from the new catalog. As a demonstrator, we were able to pre-order certain items for the last month. That's how we got our hands on some of this stuff. But the full catalog will be available on Tuesday, assuming items are not stuck on a ship somewhere, which, as we all know, is a problem right now. Today we are going to use the Sun Prince designer paper. This is a suite in the new catalog. I can't show you inside the catalog yet, but it is this beautiful paper. And we made 2 cards with it on Wednesday, actually. Let's get this out of the way. Here's the 2 cards we use. So it focuses on navies and Pacific Point and Starry Sky, and then gray granite. So these were the 2 cards from Wednesday. And on Monday, I introduced the in colors, and this is, oh, I forget already, Parakeet Party. And these are the cute little Tea Boutique envelopes and card bases. And then we made matching little treat box with some Hershey nuggets in it. Hi, Leanne. And I wrapped them in the Tea Boutique paper, 1 by 3 inch little pieces. So that's a cute little gift for someone maybe that you don't typically give a gift to. It's nice to give them just a little box of chocolates. Oh, and obviously it's got a little tea, so it has a little tea bag in there. And these boxes are not around in the new catalog, so I would stock up if I were you. All right, we'll get all this stuff out of the way. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes for my inspiration for my cards, it comes from a card I've designed or a card I've received. So for our fun fold today, we're just making 1 card. And this is the design. And this was from my friend Tony, who sent me this beautiful card. And it opens like this. And it's got this fun little cutout in the front. And we're going to recreate this using the Sun Prince, I already forgot the name, Sun Prince Designer Series paper. So I just love this, the layout of this card. So when I get a card and I'm trying to recreate it, what I do is I just take my ruler, which is here somewhere. Anyways, I measured this piece and then measured to see where it was folded. And it's folded every 2 inches actually, and it's 8 inches by 5 1/4. And then the front you can figure out actually. You have to glue down this piece and then use the stitched rectangle dies to cut this piece out. And then I cut another piece for the inlay. And I hope I did this right. I didn't even make this one. But after Tony gave it to me, I did make some other ones. I think maybe with when we had the hydrangea paper. I don't remember though, and I can't find them because usually I put a little post-it on the back with the instructions. But hey Diane, I did not do that this time, so this is like a bit of a memory game. So I have made this card before, but that one was a gift, and it was because of getting that one that I made the other one. So we have our card base that's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, folded in half. Night of Navy. Then we have our beautiful Sun Prince paper. So I selected the one that has the kind of ferns on it because I wanted to use the new Fern 3D embossing folder available in the new catalog. And the set we're using is Nature's Prince. So this is one of the new ones in the new catalog. I love it. Look at the fonts. These are the fonts I used on these 2 cards. Really pretty. And I used a lot of the elements from this stamp set and dies to create those cards. So today I'm just focusing on the fern. So I used this one and I did it in navy. And this is a really nice sentiment die that we're going to use today as well. I'm also using the Happy Mother's Day stamp. And I thought I got an email from our local flower farm saying, come and pick your tulips this weekend for Mother's Day. But I realized Mother's Day is still a week away. So it is a Happy Mother's Day card. And I'm also using the stitched rectangles. And you can see the one that's missing because I'm going to have to run over and do a die cut. So those are the products. So the first thing we're going to do is glue this down. I could have done this ahead of time, but I wanted to show you kind of the whole process. Ah, oh, so pretty. And I am going to put glue right down the middle because I'm going to be cutting out a piece and I'll save it and use it on another card. I should have done that today actually. So the next thing you have to do, this is my cheat one, is I have to go and take this die and I want to cut it right out of the middle. And I didn't want to do that ahead of time because I wanted to show you the process. So you can peek and ooh and ah of this one and I'll just go die cut. One thing about the stitched rectangle dies that I find, if you put them in straight on, it's harder to cut and you get this big clunk, clunk. It's better if you can get it on a bit of an angle, but I couldn't really because of the size of my piece. So we'll take this out. So I wanted to put glue all the way around because I didn't want it popping up here. And now I have this beautiful piece that I can use for something else. I will definitely keep that. Keep her. Okay, so we have this and we have this. So now next thing I think is we take this one, so 8 by 5 1/4, scored at 2, 4, and 6. So this one's going to fold like this. I'm looking at the other one while I'm doing this. And then this. And you would think you're going to go this way, but you don't. You go this way. So here's what it looks like from the top. So a mountain fold and a valley fold. Now, I'm looking at the other one to make sure I'm doing this right. So this is how it's going to be glued in. We want a little bit of an edge here. I'm going slow enough, you could probably follow along with me. This is going to get glued down. That looks a bit crooked. No, maybe not. I'm just going to pretend and open it. So that's going to get glued like that. Yes, that's going to work. So I think you can decide which way is better to glue first. This back side or this side. So I am going to glue down the back. So remember, this is what it looks like. And this whole piece is getting glued down. And this will be one of those Facebook Lives that I may be going, oops. But I don't think so. I think I know. Let's hope it's not an oops. That's why it's good to use white glue. You can actually pull it off easier. All right, I'm just going to try it again and make sure I'm doing it right. Looks good. So now, just seeing how much room I have. I want glue, but just on here. I can't put it on the whole piece because then I'll have glue here. So I'm just going to put glue around this edge. And remembering that this white glue squirts out a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to fold it up and hope that I've done this right. Yeah, now I just need to give it a second to dry. So that looks good. So we've got that little piece done. You can see it on this card. So now the only tricky part, that's not tricky, is here is my piece that I embossed using the Fern 3D embossing folder. Look how detailed that is. It's really, really pretty. So this is going to get glued. It fits perfectly in here because it's die cut with the same die. But we only want to put glue here. So let me see if I'm going to do this right. It fits in perfect. And then it, oh, I need to give it a second. I popped it right out. The one thing about the white glue is it does need a second to make sure that it's not falling apart, because I did pop it off. In the meanwhile, while that's drying, I have that beautiful sentiment piece in blue. I have it in white. And then I stamped and die cut some of the ferns. This one was full strength, starry sky. This one was, I stamped and then I stamped again. And I was impressed with how beautiful the color is. Hey Judith, here's the card we're making. And here it is with the sun prints. You'll have to go back and watch the beginning of it. Okay, so we've got this. Let me just make sure. I never even did check if that was going to fit. Now we can go off this edge a little bit because that never interferes with the fold. So the reason I did a blue and a white is actually I had this one left over from the other day and I thought it might look nice tucked behind. I'm going to cut it in half, but I also don't want to hide all of my embossing. So let's see if we like it. So I'm just going to snip it in half. My thinking is a little bit on the bottom and a little bit on the top. And I do really like that. So I am going to use Stampin' Seal. Just put in a little bit along each edge. It doesn't matter if it's too much because it's going to be underneath. So I really want just a little bit, not too much at all. White glue might have been better. I'm being too precise. It really doesn't matter. Okay, that looks good. And we'll do the same on the other side. It has a beautiful little ridge on it. It's really, really pretty. Just to kind of pull in the base color of the card. Yeah, I like that. So that's going to go here. We can go right in the middle, but there's a beautiful fern here. I'm kind of tempted to go at the bottom. And we want to make sure when you're attaching from now on that you're not interfering with the fold. So when this card opens, it opens like this. And I can always put one of these in here, which would be pretty. But that's where you write your message, so maybe here. Anyways. All right, I've decided I'm going to put it down here. Now, before I put it down, I obviously am going to add some things. So I have that fern, so I don't really want to cover that up too much. I was wishing there was, and I think maybe there is in one of the sets, a fern that cuts out all the branches. Maybe one of you guys knows if there is. So maybe one fern, I'm going to put a bow with a starry sky ribbon. And maybe... No, I want the fern to be the star, really. I don't even know if I want two. I might just want one. I don't often put just one. Maybe... You know me, I have trouble keeping it simple. But most of the design on here is the ferns. I'm just going to go ahead and tie my bow and see what it's going to look like. And I think I'll do the frayed bow this time, where you tie your bow. Use my ribbon scissors. And then what I do is I start taking it apart. I love this ribbon. So that you've got a good start on it, so that you're not pulling it too much. You're starting to take all of these little fibers. And then you pinch it in the middle. And I take my little pokey tool and just continue to fray it. Yeah, that's pretty. But if you don't pinch it, you're going to pull your bow apart. Kind of have to start where you first ended off and work your way up. Oopsie. I did exactly what I said not to do. Okay. That's good. Now, because this is a pretty significant bow, we might be able to get away with just a couple of ferns. I kind of like that. And then that, like that. I like it. Judith says one fern with one ribbon. Let's try that. And then let's try two ferns. I know I always put too much stuff on. So we're going to put everything on top. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on with this on with dimensionals. And then I'll decide how many ferns. So I can put it right to the edge. But I want to tuck this. I want to keep it a little bit to the left. So I'll fold it down. And I want it low so that you can see some of the beautifulness of the Is that a word? Beautifulness. Ooh. Okay. Learn from my mistakes. That one I put a little too far. So now I got to do a bit of surgery here. Without bending everything. It's at the back, so I'm not really too worried. I'm just going to put a little piece. So I want it for, I'm going to put it on, actually on here. So then I know it's going to be in the right spot. Okay, probably wrecked that a little bit. Okay, so we've got that, we've got that. This is a really cool design. Okay, so we got the ribbon, which will get a glue dot. And then we have, I'm going to go with 2 ferns. And I'm going to use glue dots. If I had, I would have done a vellum. And then I think it would have just been a little bit of a shadow, and that might have been nice. And then some things I overthink. Okay, that's pretty. We'll add our little glue dot and our bow. And what I love about these bows are because it's, the material is stiff, you can get it going out so that it's not covering up your sentiment. Because sometimes I go to put a bow on and then realize, oh, that's gonna totally hide my sentiment. Now I am gonna stick this one in here. There's just a bit of snail. Obviously you could stamp some images in here as well. I think the writing will probably be here, but you could write, well, not really easily, but kind of on the whole thing. If you're going to do that, right before you put your card together. Okay, I think that's nice. I don't think I'm going to add anything down here, but I did grab, did I? Oh yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure I had. So I chose the Holiday Rhinestones because this blue is perfect. I only have small blue ones left, but that's okay. So these are, well, I hope they're still available. They're in the annual catalog, but they are retiring. So if you like them, you should get them. And they'll be perfect right over here. They're really pretty because they have a little bit of silver beside them. So 2 there, and I hate doing 2 and 2, but maybe I'll try 3. There we go. So Holiday Rhinestones. And they are retiring. I'm just not sure if they're still available or what the scoop is. So I did have some, this is when I know, because they're not, I think for this card you need to stick to ferns, not introduce all these other elements. All right, just 1 card for today, but it's really pretty. So this inside piece, I forgot to write it down, is the card base. Let me get a bigger one, and then I'll put it on the back of my card. So the card base is cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. Then the DSP is 4 by 5.25. And then the white piece is 8 by 5.25. Score at 2, 4, and 6. So the main thing you have to remember on this card that kind of is counterintuitive is that you fold this one in, this one up, and then typically if you're doing kind of a Z fold, you'd fold this one in this way, but you fold it back. So I'll just hold it here so you can see what it looks like from above. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. As I said, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but this was inspiration from a card I received from a friend. And it was perfect. Just swap out the papers and the embossing folder. And it's really pretty. And I think someone would like to get that. You could also put a couple little gems in here as well. And I'm going to I'll leave this here for now, but then I'll put it on the back of the card. I got smart and I started a container of fancy folds. And all of my fancy folds in my template container have a little sticky on the back, so I'll remember how to make them. Because sometimes I just change it up a little bit, or change the pattern, or change the design a little bit. So this is the metallic woven ribbon. Comes in all the new in colors, and this is Starry Sky. It's just so pretty. Thanks, Dan. All right, thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate it. If you like or share my video, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you will know when I load a new video. Thanks, everyone. We are supposed to have a beautiful sunny weekend this weekend, and I'm hoping to get out in my garden and my greenhouse. My greenhouse was, well, it's probably about 30 degrees right now, because at 10 o'clock this morning it was already 23 degrees, and it's been nice and sunny. It's really windy, but it's the sun that really heats it up. Still don't have a lot out there because we've had really cold evenings. We had ice on the pond yesterday, so it's still a little bit cold, but I have been to the garden center. I do love Starry Sky. Yes, I think Starry Sky might be my favorite new in color. I think it might be. I do like Sweet Sorbet. Is that what it's called? That one's nice too. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you Monday at 1. So new hours for May and June are 1 o'clock. Thanks, and have a great weekend.